Hi guys, welcome to Extreme Overclocking Go. Got a present in the mail today. Barrow water block for an RTX 3070 Vulcan OC by IGame, colourful IGame. This little card here. So the thing is, the cooling solution already on it. Pretty damn good. I'll get boost clocks of 2115 and sustain them without dropping clocks until a little bit later on at the very earliest. So I feel like I've got it at a high clock. I'm very curious to see if the water will help. But this may be a waste of time completely, but because I won't do something purely for aesthetics. But we'll get that card out of there. We'll get it stripped down and we'll get a block on it. What do you reckon? What are you up to? Have a bit of fun. Alright, let's have a look at this water block, eh? See what we think. What do we get as kit here? Looks like I might have a couple too many of them, which is good. Always good. Usual plugs and mounting screws. What are the Barrow instructions like these days? They're rubbish. Generic one. Look, water block installation for 4 different blocks. Now I've got a Vulcan OC, so it's got that LCD screen on it over there. Kind of hoping there'd be something in there that said how you could externally mount that after putting the block on. Guess I'll just have to figure that out myself if it's possible. What have we got? Button press, RGB. I think for the money you might have gotten a remote with that, but oh no! Not a bit. Okay. Nothing exciting there. At least I'll show you the kit that comes with the actual card itself, eh? Okay. So you get mounting hardware here. That's another base for the stand. Nice little screwdriver. A couple of bits and pieces, but now when I got this card I thought I'm never going to use those. Now is the time to pull out your Michael Jackson gloves. What are you up to? Look at that. So, I think it's actually a good idea because you leave fingerprints all over these shiny boxes, don't you? Who's first? No, I'm sure I don't know what you were thinking then. Go. Alrighty, so we're all Billy Jeaned up. Enough of the card, eh? Let's down a little pad mat there. Quality, good quality this. Oh yay, more RGB. So happy. Okay. RGB sitting into the back plane. It's going to be hard to show you everything here, but let's have a look at what you think. Quite pretty. I think it'll look good on there. If it looks like what you're aiming at. I'm hoping it's going to do a really good job of cooling it on the chiller. Okay. Just stay tuned soon, guys. I get my single stage back very soon. Very soon. I don't know how I'm going to go catching Chispy at the top of the list there with most of those scores. Got a bit of a ripper setup going on. I'll give it a red hot crack though. Time to do an operation, I guess. It's very nicely machined. It's all very clean, very tidy. I can't see a lot of machine marking. There is some, but that's what's going to happen. Scratch there. Not bad. All right. Time to have some fun. I took some current 3D Mark scores and stuff like that. I did Time Spy Extreme. Sorry, Time Spy Ultra. Which one is it? Extreme, yeah. 5 Strike Ultra. And just thinking of doing Port Royal. I might do a Port Royal run as well before I do this. And I'll be back. So transferring the Barrow water block onto the 3070 RTX. Vulcan OC IGame model, the top model for the 3070. And I've been sent the block by Barrow. Their instructions are really quite bad. And I've been given thermal pads that are referred to in a couple of different ways in the instructions that are supposed to go on something that are called heat chips. Okay, so now just a point of note, this is the old cooler which I'm taking apart because I wish to get the LCD screen off the Vulcan, which by the way is just a little panel here which you got to undo a couple of screws. There's 4 screws to take the shroud off there. Those are the 2 little screws for there. And there's just 4 screws down here by the looks of it. So there's a controller going over, or a LED light going over for this one. And something else there. But just, yeah, I think that's going to, after those 4 screws, that should be slide-outable. And then I've got to probably, I don't know if the block's going to have room for that. I have to find out for the fan, but for the thing, you know what I mean. So the main problem is at the moment that the block doesn't fit. So it's come, I feel like the R&D department over there has done it with just the PCB available without the back plate. Although they've made it the right length for the back plate. There is another PCB which is in here. I didn't need to remove that to know that it's not going to go down past these lugs, which are for the stand to hold it up so it doesn't bend, that comes with it. Although I showed them side pictures of, you know, how it's not going to go. Can you please take it off? And yeah, okay, no worries. I'll jump through a few hoops there for you, shall I? It requires either drilling into the end here. Oh, by the way, it was suggested to me, all you got to do is cut out the acrylic. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, bought a block for one of the top cards, and yeah, I'll just cut out the acrylic, shall I? And that was it. There wasn't like there was any offer of anything. I've pushed it since then, and we'll be getting a little bit further than that. But these lugs could either be ground off, but they can't just be ground off, because then the block still doesn't fit down the side here and line up with the holes. So that actually has to be cut off or bent out of the way for the block to mount. So kind of in a little bit of limbo. I don't want to go much further until I know it, because in case they send the block back or something like that. But point of note, the way the fans are on this cooler, might I note, they seem to be cooling a few less areas than there is heat pads on this one. I might add, not everything down there. But yeah, look, the fan's mounted on the actual heatsink itself, which they are normally on the shroud. But that's just quite interesting, I thought. Anyway, I'll see what happens with the next stage of this situation. I'll be back. Okay guys, so the card's installed, the block's on, all that, and does a reasonable job. With the chiller running, and thanks to the fact that no one else with a particular type of CPU is running my card and their CPU at the same time, I got the Port Royal #1 score on hardware bot, which I'm sure won't last particularly long. But it was a good result nonetheless. It raised the clocks fairly well, but you still had to go fairly cold. I mean, on running it on normal water, it's probably about the same results as the heatsink original heatsink fan. Obviously, quieter if you're running a normal water cooled system with a nice D5 and sealed and all that. With my chiller, it's not helping me any great deal because I've got to have the chiller running sometimes, so that gets noisy. And when I don't, the backup fans are a little bit noisy in themselves, and the radio needs a clean. However, it did increase average clock speed and all that sort of stuff. So it was nothing sensational, but it did a good job. It goes to show more how the original cooling was particularly good. Okay, so dealing with Barrow, I mean, I'm not going to post all up my conversations, but I have kept them. Originally, I go on struggling to find a block for the card. So someone says on a Biskey's page, I think I posted something, and the guy who was moderating it was new or something, and he ran off and he found me the right link, and promptly got fired within a few hours or something or other. It was really quite weird, and the other person said, "Oh, sorry about that, you got the wrong information." Well, did I? Because I need to know what's going on. It's just being delivered. I've contacted customers. They put me onto the AliExpress people's contacts, and I dealt with them, and they confirmed I've got the right card coming. Okay, good. So it gets here, and then I have to deal with them about the fact that there's these issues with the card. I mean, you can't expect it to go on with a naked backplate. I mean, on a card like that, especially when your previous edition your previous edition, I'm going to have to cut it short because the phone's running out. Previous edition was supplied with all the grooves in the right place, all the access to the plugs, with, I don't know if you had to buy it as an edition, but it would have been strange the way it was designed, an acrylic side panel to remount that screen for the same card, the Vulcan of that edition. This one came with nothing. As a matter of fact, I looked up the part number, and it applies to, I don't want to overkill it, I thought it was more, but about 7 cards at least in their range. So it's just a generic sort of a block. They charge more money for it, of course. And the service is terrible. Just cut out the acrylic. I'll just do this, just do that. I said, look, I'll mod it, I'll do all that. And they dragged it out. And I'm sure they dragged it out so it was past that claim your warranty on AliExpress time. I'm almost exactly sure. Anyway, I said, look, I can do it myself and all that. Look, I need a D5 pump. If you send me a D5 pump, which is half the price of the block anyway, if I bought the card locally, I would have taken it back. Retail laws, just would have taken it back. Too hard to deal with. Can't be bothered. If I'm the average person, I probably would have still done that, to be honest with you, just because why should I buy this? And the cooling solution was already pretty good. Anyway, no, they're too expensive. We can give you a discount of it. First one asked about what the compensation would be. A present on your next purchase or a discount, a heavy discount. I'm not interested in you just giving away your profit. When you make a mistake like this, you give away your principal. Not only have they made a mistake, but they should be thankful of it. They should actually write off the cost of the block, saying our R&D department say, thanks, we really should be using the generic card. We're going to have to make adjustments to the block. That's what I really kind of expected, because I kept it pretty cool. I might have gotten a bit grumpy with them at times, but I never got out of control. I never swore at them or racist slurs or I said this is a bit out of control. I'm getting fed up. I said it's just dragging out and all these sorts of things. But I never got that viperish until they dragged it out so much. I said, look, you can either send me. This is during the conversation about the pump. I said, you can either send me this pump. It was 3 times we talked about it. You can either send me this pump, or look, I'll just review the card. And unfortunately, the reviews are going to be just truthful, and they're not going to be good. From that moment forward, I was blocked on their AliExpress, and the Biskey CN Facebook chat that I had with them, I was blocked, and they deleted all their conversation. They couldn't do it on their own AliExpress page, but they could do it on Facebook. It blows my mind. you know, certain levels of customer service are kind of expected worldwide. I tell people not to go too hard on hardware companies and whatnot, because when it's the electronic side especially, you know, they're electronics. But yeah, I'm really won't be buying Barrow anymore. And I've got a couple of pumps. I've got a res that I've gotten through them somehow. Yeah, no, won't be doing it. Heat Killer, EK, I like some of the other stuff. Yeah, Heat Killer's my favourite. I'll be going there. But they, Aquatune, I couldn't find one. So, not happy. Extreme overclocking yobbo out. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, even though it's a neg vid. And post it anywhere you want, where people need to be careful, because you won't get any help from them if you're not happy to just do it all yourself when they send you something that's not actually appropriate. That's my 2 bobs worth, and I'm dink. Hope you're dink, because I am.